Dear students, in yesterday's lecture we studied about two types of digital modulation techniques. One is pulse code modulation and second one is pulse width modulation. Today we are going to study the remaining two types of digital modulation techniques. One is pulse position modulation and second one is pulse amplitude modulation. So let us begin with pulse position or modulation. Pulse position modulation is the process in which the position of the standard pulse is varied as a function of amplitude of the sampled modulating signal. Means here the signal is sampled. The quantizing levels are going to be managed. But as amplitude of the sampled modulating signal changes for the instant of time, accordingly the position of pulse that changes. So meaning thereby position of pulse is shifting as per the variation of instantaneous amplitude of the sampled signal to be modulated. Assuming center of each pulse occurs at time interval 0 t to t, the modulating signal shifts the entire pulse by an amount delta t sine of omega mt to get modulated pulse train. Pulse position modulation train is obtained by producing pulse width modulation wave, and then it is feed these wave to the monostable multivibrator. At the leading edge of the pulse width modulated pulse, monostable multivibrator is triggered and returned to the stable state with its timing network. That means we are well aware with both the circuitry. In yesterday's lecture we have studied the pulse width modulation. Means the combination of pulse width modulation along with the monostable multivibrator forms the pulse position modulation circuit. Now the sampled signal to be modulated is given to the pulse width modulation circuitry. The role of pulse width modulation circuitry is that as the instantaneous amplitude of the modulating signal or sampled signal varies, either leading edge or trailing edge or both are changed so that width of pulse is varied. In short, pulse width is varied in accordance with that of instantaneous amplitude of the sampled signal to be modulated. So pulse width modulated signal is given to the monostable multivibrator. In short, what we can say is output of pulse width modulator is going to act as the triggering pulse for the monostable multivibrator. As we are aware that monostable multivibrator is a single shot multivibrator. It has a one stable state and other quasi-stable state. Once it enters into the stable state, to change its state, you have to apply the triggering pulse. And we are making use of output of the pulse width modulated wave to trigger the monostable multivibrator at its leading edge, and then after triggering it at the leading edge, it will return back to its quasi-stable state. But again, when it returns to the quasi-stable state, naturally it doesn't remain in that particular state for a long time. Again it goes to the stable state. With this particular process, at every leading edge of pulse width modulated wave, the position of the pulse is going to be shifted by an amount delta t sine of omega t. So this concept we can call it as it is the pulse position modulation. Friends, after studying the pulse position modulation, we are going to study another technique of digital modulation, and that is known as pulse amplitude modulation. Means here amplitude of the pulse is changed in accordance with that of instantaneous amplitude of the signal to be modulated. Meaning here width of pulse is maintained constant, position of pulse is maintained constant, but amplitude of the pulse is changed in accordance with that of instantaneous amplitude of the signal to be modulated. That is, in pulse amplitude modulation, amplitude of the pulse is varied in accordance with width of instantaneous amplitude of the signal to be modulated. Amplitude of the pulse varies in accordance with the instantaneous amplitude of the signal to be modulated, while the width of pulse is kept constant. I will repeat it again. Pulse amplitude modulation is the process in which amplitude of the pulse is varied in accordance with instantaneous amplitude of the signal to be modulated, while the width of pulse is kept constant. Thus, area of these pulses becomes proportional to the instantaneous amplitude of the signal. So this is represented here. So this is the signal to be modulated, whose samples are to be taken at the instant of time, and these are the pulses which are applied. Amplitude of these pulses is changed in accordance with that of instantaneous amplitude of the signal to be modulated. Look at here. Here the amplitude of the signal to be modulated is 0. Amplitude of the pulse is minimum. As the amplitude is increased at that particular instant, amplitude of the pulse is also increased. When amplitude becomes maximum, then amplitude of the pulse also becomes maximum. Again, if amplitude decreases, amplitude of the pulse also decreases. When amplitude becomes 0, then amplitude of the pulse also becomes 0. When amplitude turns to be negative, then amplitude of the pulse also changes to be negative. When it reaches to the negative peak, amplitude becomes maximum at the negative peak. Again, when amplitude goes on changing, the amplitude of the pulse also changes, and this process repeats throughout the entire input signal to be modulated. It clearly indicates that amplitude of the pulse is changing as per as instantaneous amplitude of the signal to be modulated. So this process we can call it as it is the pulse amplitude modulation. The pulse amplitude wave contains USB and as well as LSB frequencies along with the modulating and pulse signal. But as it is a type of amplitude modulation, we can say it possesses the lower sideband as well as the upper sideband. Pulse amplitude modulated wave can be obtained by using the linear amplifier with modulating signal applied at its input and unmodulated pulse train in series with the signal. Means to the input of amplifier, two signals are applied in series. One is the signal to be modulated and another one is the unmodulated pulse train. Both are applied in series as an input of the linear amplifier. When amplitude of the pulse train and modulating signal is properly adjusted, this is very important. When amplitude of the pulse train and modulating signal is properly adjusted, the presence of pulse switch on the amplifier and during this period amplified signal is obtained at the output. Last time we have studied the action of transistor as a switch that plays a very vital role in this particular case. Depends upon width of that particular pulse. The transistor will be turned on and off. When transistor will be turned on, the amplified signal is made available at the output. And when transistor is turned off, again the signal to be made available at the output will be stopped. So that is the process which is going to be performed here. That is, when amplitude of the pulse train and modulating signal is properly adjusted, the presence of pulse switch on the amplifier, means switch on the transistor. During this period, amplified signal is obtained at the output. But at the end of pulse, the amplifier is again switched off and pulse amplitude modulated wave are produced. The pulse amplitude modulated wave are obtained by using the low pass filter with cutoff frequency equal to the highest frequency of modulating signal. Means the circuitry that is used to produce the pulse amplitude modulation makes use of low pass filter whose cutoff frequency is made to be adjusted equal to the highest frequency of the modulating signal. So let us see the same with its corresponding circuit diagrams. This is the block diagram representation that gives you the idea regarding the pulse amplitude modulation. As we studied that it includes a filter. Filter does the very important role. Its cutoff frequency is the highest frequency of the signal to be modulated. So this is the signal to be modulated which we are applying. This is the low pass filter. By using the proper cutoff frequency, only a required signal is passed at the output. It is given to the modulator. Means this is a kind of an amplifier circuitry to which the carrier wave in the form of square wave pulse is given. The role of this particular pulse is to turn down the modulator. Depends upon the pulse width made available. Means for that particular duration of pulse width, the input signal is going to be amplified. Meaning thereby, for this is the width for which the signal is available at the output. After that, the pulse width becomes low and the modulator will be turned off. Meanwhile, some sort of input cycle that passes and its amplitude increases. Again, if the modulator is switched on, higher amplitude signal is made available. Again, it is turned off. This process repeats, and as the amplitude of the input signal changes, the variation in the amplitude of the pulse are made available at the output. If any distortion, if it is present, that distortion is going to be removed in the pulse reshaping circuit. Means these modulated waveforms are reshaped in a proper format, and that's what it is known as the pulse amplitude circuit. Dear friends, this modulator circuitry is given in this particular transistorized circuit. So this is the carrier wave which is represented here. This is the signal to be modulated which is represented here. The signal to be modulated and the carrier wave are connected in series with the transistor as an amplifier circuit. Depending upon pulse width which is applied to the base of transistor, so for t equal to less than 0, for t0 amplitude is 0, the transistor is off. When transistor is off, even though input signal is available for the amplification, amplification is not possible. But after t becomes greater than or equal to 0, at the leading edge, the pulse amplitude starts rising and it remains constant for a certain interval of time, and the trailing edge begins. Within leading edge and trailing edge, the pulse width is made available for the base of transistor. So at the leading edge, transistor will be switched on, and whatever the signal is provided to the input, it will be starts amplifying, means it is made available at the output. This process will continue till the pulse width completes. So at the trailing edge, the transistor will be turned off and amplification stops. With this particular process, at the output, the pulse amplitude modulated wave is made available, and this process of modulation we can call it as it is a pulse amplitude type of the modulation. Dear students, in the last 3 periods, whatever we have covered all are of the type of digital modulations, where we have studied amplitude shift keying technique, frequency shift keying technique, pulse code modulation, pulse width modulation, pulse position modulation, and also the pulse amplitude modulation. And these are what you have to remember as a digital modulation techniques in the form of the conceptual aspects. So that's all about the digital modulation. Dear students, to proceed further, just let me introduce the another aspect of the communication technique that is used in receiver. Without that, signal recovery or original signal obtained is not possible, and that process we can call it as it is the demodulation. Friends, demodulation process is used in the receiver to recover the original information from the modulated wave. We are well aware that in transmitter, modulation technique is adopted. maybe it is amplitude modulated, maybe it is frequency modulated, or maybe by using any digital modulation technique the signal is modulated, and at the receiving end modulating signal is separated, recovered from the modulated wave, and in this process of recovering the original information from the modulated signal in the receiver is known as the demodulation. Just we will introduce it and we'll stop today. The process of recovering the original modulating signal from the modulated wave is known as demodulation or a detection. Basically, it is a process of frequency translation that requires non-linear device which converts high frequency signal into low frequency signal. That means the process of recovering the original information is done by using the non-linear device, maybe transistor or maybe diode, where the process of frequency translation that takes place in which the conversion of high frequency signal into low frequency signal process is occurring. Any deviation from wave shape of the modulating signal, if occurs after detection, then that deviation is called as the distortion. If output of demodulation contains the frequency which are not present in the modulating signal, then it is called as amplitude distortion. High frequency deviation is a frequency distortion, and the reduction in frequency component with altered phase relation is known as the phase distortion. Means after recovering the original information, after demodulation process is completed, there may be possibility of producing distorted signal at the output at the cost of variation in the frequency, at the cost of variation in the amplitude, or even at the cost of variation in the phase. But please do remember that recovering the original information from the modulated wave is known as the demodulation. There are two types of the modulators which are used. One is for frequency demodulator and second one is for amplitude demodulator. As far as AM detector, there are two types. One is a linear detector and second one is a non-linear detector. The linear detectors are used in practice and these are of two types. One is a coherent, non-coherent or envelope detector, and second one is a coherent or synchronous detector. Now the circuitry that is used to recover the original information is called as the detector. Student friends, just we have introduced the meaning of modulation and its types, the details regarding the demodulators, detectors used for AM detector as well as the FM detector. We are going to study in the next period. Today we will stop here.